wish hard enough, they'll bring it into this series.
Yeah, I feel like it's mostly a pop build though. Because if people are really disconnected with each other and you have heroes, it's gonna be the Morphling.
It is going to be the Morphling. Okay. So, yeah, so you're saying about the Sun. So looking at the two lineups, it does one pop out as a
Yotoro, so he can also just outplay the silence.
Okay, well, we'll see how they're going to do this in this first game. And remember, guys, if you want to get yourself a free $15 bet for new customers, you can click on the banner below the stream to get yourself over there and maybe get yourself something out of this match as well. But for now, I mean, Collapse is just staying on top. Either the ward is down as well, so they're going to see any pushes up, any maybe potential ward checks here as well. And Collapse, he's just standing on top of the stairs, just saying, just come at me. Big tanky centaur as well. There's going to be nothing you can do, especially around level 1, that he isn't going to be able to turn right back around on you.
So let's see, Yotoro actually queuing up the lifesteal. Usually you see him going for a Linken's almost every single game. And I do think this is a very good Linken's game too. But we'll see.
Okay. And yeah, Centaur, what's he going to be? It's going to be going for the phase which he's got the Ring of Health queued up there as well. But they're going to be coming into the river. Do they contest onto this? There's going to be the pullback coming through from the Disruptor now as well. Wait, with that Glimpse. And Watson.
Glimpse?
Disruption comes out. Did they get anything from this now as well? The Hoof Stomp's going to be there. The damage, the Split Earth now as well. This actually might be First Blood as well. And they give it over to Lal.
I don't think that in almost 10 years of playing Dota, I've ever seen a Disruptor skill up Glimpse level 1.
Who was it yesterday? Right, I was watching the North American close qualifiers yesterday.
Oh, that's enough. You don't need to continue the sentence.
Yeah, but it was... I know he was just trying to justify the pickup, but Trent talking about the level 1 Glimpse pickup, and it's like, if you get the max Glimpse, which obviously didn't know, but if you get the max Glimpse, it's the best spell the Disruptor has between damage to mana cost. Obviously, there was nowhere near the max Glimpse there, and but yeah, apparently is the best ratio of damage to mana cost on the Glimpse if you can get a full distance Glimpse off. So, usually the benefits there that maybe not everyone's thought about, and NA just so far ahead of everyone else in terms of thinking about the Disruptor and how to play him.
Yeah, fair enough. It's max Glimpse is 115 mana and it's max 300 damage. It sounds like that's complete and utter bollocks, but we'll respect NA and just leave it there.
So yeah, let's see. I mean, in this lane, in the top lane as well, Mira, just backing up onto Collapse, and Collapse, he's not doing too bad. He's getting some harass out now as well. Fishman, again, is only level 1, so he is stuck with that Glimpse for the minute. Let's see what he can do with this. Just putting out right clicks as well. And Mira, yeah, on this support Tiny, what are you expecting from the support Tiny? Do you still think it's going to be the Blink Dagger, just a little bit of a slower build up on this? Looking to maybe when he gets a decent amount of levels in the Avatars, look for the rotations, or is there a way that you think Mira wants to play this Tiny?
I think a Blink Dagger is very likely. You could argue for a Force Staff as well, because you're playing against Batrider, Ricky, Razor. Yeah. But I feel like Entity also has a lot of squishy heroes, so getting that offensive potential of the Blink Dagger is definitely going to be worth it. I would 100% expect a 4-staff second item though.
Okay, well, he started off with the boots as well. He's got some regen coming in now with the tangos off the courier. So let's see, bottom lane though, Yotaro taking some harass coming through. Karawami just wants to be diving forward, getting in what he can, and now there's going to be immediately, as soon as that damage drain starts, you see the disruption coming up from Miposhka. Just stops it in its tracks. And yeah, Yotaro loses, 24 damage? But in the grand scheme of things, that's not a massive amount in the lane. He should still be able to be getting these last hits. Top lane, though, Mira, they get the kill onto Fishman. Fishman is just going to be going down. Can Watson get any revenge, though? Mira's trying to run himself away, and it looks like Watson, level 3, so he doesn't want to go for that pounce. And there was a body block from Collapse as well that was blocking his path. And now the Avalanche, the toss-up, as well as the return damage and Stomp.
Oh, damn.
A good couple of kills here.
That was really well played there. Watson was not anticipating them to be aggressive.
Yeah, And yeah, he pays the price. And really good just stepping up there from Mira on that Tiny to do the damage. Mid lane as well, you see those, right? It's fairly even in terms of farm in
Yeah,
this mid
but look
lane.
at the denies.
Oh,
That's
true.
ridiculous. Difference of 10 denies.
Yeah, and I suppose that they are going to start to add up, but I suppose it's not as bad a lane. Or we get a pause. As bad a lane as maybe the Tiny that has to come in close. You can still throw. I know he had the split Earth level 1. I'm not sure if he's taking the Lightning. Would you expect? What's the build up here for the Leshrac to go towards?
I think you generally want to put some early points into the lightning and the stun against a Bat Rider, just to push out the lanes and make sure that you're safe. And then at some point you start transitioning into the edict. What
Yeah.
exactly that point is kind of depends on when you want to start rotating. Because sometimes you need high points in lightning and stun to get kills. Sometimes you can rely on your supports and just need the building damage. It's a game to game thing.
Okay. Well, we'll see what they want to be going towards. Shadow Demon as well in this lane. He's just. It looks like he's going to be playing protection for the Morphlin at the minute. The Morph, what's he want to be going towards? Morbid Mask in there as well. So he wants those power treads as well as the Wraith Band.
And a Falcon Blade too.
Yep. Is there any agility carries at the minute that don't go for that Falcon Blade?
I think so, yeah. There is a few. Like, you don't see Ursa going for it because he goes for the Battle Fury.
And Yutaro on the Morph, 68%, 65% win rate over 68 games. That's pretty good here. And yeah, I know why you were talking about it now. 65% on the Morphlin coming through. That's a great number to come in through, and shows confidence that he knows what he's doing on the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yotoro Morphling is always scary. So Entity, not ready. Very explicitly not ready.
Oh yeah, Fishman, quick disconnect, reconnect. So hopefully he's not too far away. And how do you think? I mean, so the Shadow Demon is protected. Anytime this the leash comes out from Toby onto Yutaro, it looks like the Shadow Demon's going to be ready there to get the disruption off. How do Entity try and play around this? What's the plan? Do they have to try and wait for Karawami? Does he go for an early point into the smokes and maybe try and disrupt Mishposhka's disruption?
No, I don't think so. The goal for Entity in this lane is not really to get kills on the Morphling. If they can stop him from farming, that's fine. Or if they can trade farm, that's also fine. You generally don't pick Ricky for the laning stage. He's not super bad, because obviously he has high armor, he has decent damage, he has good regen, but you pick him for this sleeping dart later on.
Yeah. Okay. And it is that what's the item that comes out after that? Because I know we talked about the Meteor Hammer, but in a serious build, what is it the Ricky wants to go for after the shard comes out?
It depends on the game, but mostly you either want to get more reach for your sleeping dart, so either Etherlance or Blink Dagger, or you want to support your team properly, so you get something like a Force.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye. Excuse me. We'll keep an eye on the build coming out for the Ricky to see what he actually wants to go towards as well here. Itaro, in terms of last hits, he's a little bit behind the Razor, but he's got a full whip to catch up. He's not too far behind. It's not a massive amount. Does need to be careful about the harass that comes out from both the Ricky and the Razor, though. So, I mean, actually might turn it around now that you see the disruption into the waveform. Immediately away, you see the dive in from the Ricky now as well. The Plasma Field comes out. Yutaro, does he want to go? Because there's going to be the two illusions collapse. He takes down Fishman once again in the top lane. And the tips, maybe trying to just play on some emotions of Fishman.
Yeah, this tiny centaur lane is such a classic. Just toss in the centaur, he stomps, you follow up with avalanche, and most heroes will die, especially squishy support heroes like the Disruptor.
Yeah. Okay, well, Spirit at the minute having a great game, 4-0 so far. The Glimpse comes back, Collapso is going to be able to get the hoof stomp off, and there's going to be the tosses again just to get Watson away. So Collapse, he's having a great time. You know, he needs a little bit more regen, but he's got it there on the ring of health, so he is going to be getting quite a decent amount of health back. Doesn't have to worry about being harassed out of this lane. And it looks like, again, is it going to be another hood, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. The reason why a lot of heroes pick up Vanguard first is because they can disassemble it into a hood and then potentially like an Octarine or a Bloodstone. But Centaur doesn't really like building those items, so he just goes straight hood.
Okay. And yeah, Tiny, Tiny, looking for just to keep the regen flowing as well with the clarities coming in, the mangoes coming in, just so he can carry on throwing out this harass. And yeah, Collapse, he's finding the farm. We'll see 22 to the 26 of the Slack. So Watson, he's still finding the farm here, but the contest coming through from the Collapse. Collapse is having a decent time in this lane.
Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't expect that to change anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm hearing the Ricky in the river, but it is going to be the death. Yeah, Maposhka. Maposhka denies the Invis room, but he will be taken down here by Mikey. Mikey rotating in with the help of the Ricky there to help find that kill, and Katawami even going to be able to get a bounty run off that. So, Mikey in this lane, how is he doing in terms? He is top of the net worth by about 600 gold, and it looks like his farm isn't going to slow down anytime soon. Bottom lane, though. Toby, did they want to try and go on to him? There is going to be the dive coming through from Katawami as well, but Yutaro, he doesn't have the mana for the waveform, so he's just going to have to use the adaptive strike back. This time does lose a lot of damage there to the leash coming through from Toby.
Yeah, Yatoro isn't having a lot of fun in this lane, but it could be worse.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And Morphlin, I mean, he's not too far behind the Razor in terms of farm. A good couple of waves, he's back up. Maybe even a gank if the Shadow Demon wants to rotate back in. But I think Shadow Demon at the minute, he's just on his merry little tour, trying to maybe get on top of Mikey in the river there as well. Mikey moved himself up. He is level 7, so he has that lasso. So maybe going to try and relieve a little bit of pressure here on this top lane as Mira will be spotted. Do they want to go, though? There's going to be the Avalanche, maybe a toss back. No, just going to be saving this. And so the lasso, he does get dropped onto the Tiny. Tiny can get himself away from this one. He's trying, but the damage is going to be way too much. Mikey picks up the kill. Collapso with the TP, nothing to stop it. So he will be able to get himself back behind that tier 1. I feel like he could have just walked, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a very short TP. But hey, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and guys, if you want to join in on the action, you can click on the banner below. New customers get themselves a free $15 bet, so that is available to you if you are a new customer. And look at this, Maposhka and Lal in the river, maybe just waiting to get on top of Mikey. Yeah, it's going to be an ambush here, and Mikey, can he get himself away from this one? The glimpse, but it's only going to be right back behind the trees. Avalanche comes in now as well. Mira, he's got a bone to pick, and Mikey, is he going to be the one taking down? The toss comes forward from the Shadow Demon, and it looks like they might get the kill until the Shark. Lal goes down before they get the kill onto the Batrider. What else can they do here? Maposhka, can he get anything from this? He's just going to be taken down as Katawami comes in, rotates in with the double damage rune, and finds the kill onto Maposhka.
Yeah, very nice rotation there. Lesh was saving mana for a split earth, so he turned off, for the lightning. So he turned off the pulse nova, and then the silence came in.
Yeah, and you can see, again, Watson just finding the farm now. Collapse is still in the lane, but with Mira being rotated out, killed off, and then rotated out, it's a little bit easier. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Toby, he's got that Eye of the Storm up, and it's getting a little bit harder now for Yutaro to find this farm.
Looks like Toby is going to be going for the classic Razor build. No huge surprises here.
Yeah, top lane collapse. Do they want to try and dive onto Watson? There's going to be the return damage. The Avatos comes out there as well, and they clean up the Slack. Just make sushi out of the hero. And Poshka. Katawami needs to be careful. 3 heroes up here. Not what you want to be diving into. Yutaro, does he try and get a kill? No. Just some harass coming through the plasma field now as well. Yutaro going to be slowed down. The right click from Toby. Not going to be there, so Yutaro should be able to get himself out of danger.
I was looking at Yutaro, and I was like, how does he still have 100 damage when he got all of his damage stolen by Razor, but he actually used the morph to steal all of the damage back. So he was hitting for normal amounts.
Yeah, and good trade there as well, so maybe that is something they want to be playing around. And again, the Morphlin probably wants to go towards that Scotty. Speaking of, Fishman is going to go down here. Watson can he get himself away? Katawami's going to try and go with the backstab here onto Lal, but Lal moved himself out of the smoke, and it looks like this time Lal gets the kill onto Fishman. He's got that bottle as well, so he is regenerating up with the clarity, so he's going to have a decent amount of mana. And yeah, so Yutaro at some point, I assume he's going to go for the Skadi there as well, which is going to be extra effective against the Razor. So in terms of answering back, Yutaro, if he gets that morph off every time he needs to use it, you know, every time the static link comes out, they might be able to get a kill onto Katawami on the top lane as well. Collapse, killing spree coming out now for the Centaur.
Yeah, this Collapse Centaur is owning.
Yeah, and even Watson just having to move, you know, 10 minutes in, having to move himself into the jungle here because of the rotations, because of that lane being contested, and that might be the first tier 1 tower to go down as well.
I wonder if Yutaro is gonna buy a Hurricane Pike this game. I feel like it would be so good against the Razor, against the Riki, against the Slark. But it is not really a classic Morphling item.
Yeah, yeah. Could be. I mean, would you be looking towards maybe, like you talking about the Tiny getting a 4-staff, maybe getting a Posh going 4-staff? Those, oh, Yutaro's so close.
That was too close for comfort.
But yeah, would that be that you'd then be relying on maybe the supports just to get the 4-staffs, maybe even LOL as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Also, I have to say I'm very happy that Toby didn't go for the quote-unquote value point in his passive. Because I swear to God, it's not a value point. It's the worst skill in the game to have 1 level of.
It's a trap.
It's 6% movement speed. You have 300 movement speed when you skill it up. That's using a skill point for like 16 movement speed. It's not worth it, people.
Fair enough, fair enough. So that's just purely when you've got, what, everything into your other spells, everything maybe into stats before you start to go for that?
Yep.
Well, they've got the dive off. They might be able to catch out this Tiny now as well. Do they have enough damage to take him down? He turns around, gets the avalanche off. There's going to be another backstab coming in from Katawami, and the glimpse back now as well. But he's still alive for a little bit. Mira, can he get himself away from this one? Disruption comes through from the Shadow Demon, but Fishman will still get the kill. And now can they go even further onto this now as well? It looks like Mikey wants to get himself out. There is going to be the Stampede, and the Stolen Glimpse, I think it was, that drags him back. Did the morph? I think the morph, yeah, shifted into Fishman to get that glimpse back, yeah.
I was looking at the Rubik, like who stole Glimpse? But of course, there is a Morphling in this game too. I'm still awake.
Yeah, it's not that late, yeah. And Katawami can get himself away from this one. The sentry is down, but there's going to be the rotation in from Toby with the splitter. Perfect timing on that. They get the kill onto Katawami.
So Bloodstone almost up for Laurel. And it's 13 minutes. That's a pretty good timing.
That's great timing there as well. Yeah, being able to get that online before the Razor really could glimpse back. Yutaro, though, is going to be the static link. Excuse me, the static field comes up. Too many statics in this game. And Yutaro, he's just able to walk himself away.
And Yutaro is not doing too poorly in terms of farm. He's had a rough lane, but he also has 0 deaths and 2 kills.
Yeah. And Spirit slightly in favor here, according to the win probability. So 61% there. It's not awful. Going to be able to find himself a couple of stacks as well, which I think he stacked himself. So no support's getting the benefit from those. But yeah, he's still having a really good time, you know, finding the farm, like you say, even through a not so great lane. Meanwhile, the rest of his team picking up, I don't want to call it the slack, you know, because it's not like he's slacking off, but, you know, picking up to help him find that space.
It looks like Toby may want to go for the shot before the Bloodstone.
Okay. There's going to be a 3-man rotation, though. Do they slow him down just a little bit off that shard? The T1 tower is getting punished. No one's here to defend it. But again, there's 3 heroes technically missing. They might be able to get the jump. Do they get onto Toby now as well? It is going to be Toby to get on top. Avatos comes out. Split Earth's going to be there now as well. The damage glimpse back, though. Yeah, they're going to be able to take Toby down. Toby, does he want to be throwing anything out at the backlines? There is going to be the last though. Keep him and Poshkill locked down, but they do still get the kill onto Toby. Might trade it off, but the disruption comes out from the Shadow Demon, keeping him alive. And you can see Lyle just trying to run himself away. He's got that Pulse Nova coming through now as well. Collapse, he's looking, but there's going to be the backstab away from Katawami. So he gets away from that hoof stomp that was coming out from Collapse.
It ends up just being a 1-for-1, but ultimately I think that favors Team Spirit. Because at the same time Yutaro was farming, and of course they trade a Razor for a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, slowing down. Oh, Collapse, so the glimpse comes back. Are they going to be able to get him? Kinetic Field comes up. And the damage. Fishman? Yeah, Lol's going to be able to push him back. Toby, though, he's getting a little bit harassed. The avalanche, anything to toss back to. Toby, he might have come too far forward once again. Split Earth's going to be there. The Pulse Nova damage as well. Is it going to be able to take him down? It's going to be the Morph as well. Morphing into the Razor. So he gets it. Plasma Field comes out. Collapse secures the kill. And Tier 1 tower in the main lane should still be secured here.
I feel like everything is slowly going Team Spirit's way. They have a Lesh who's really farmed with his Bloodstone, almost unkillable. And Collapse has a really early blink as well on top of a Hoot, and Yatoro is catching up just fine.
Yeah, would you, I mean, what timing do Spirit need here to get themselves into Roche? Do they have a good Roche lineup, or is that something that you think that it might take 2 or 3 heroes being picked off? Speaking about 2 or 3 heroes being picked off, Slark Disruption comes out, Shadow Poison into the Avalanche. Dark Pack's going to be there, so no toss back anywhere either. And it looks like Watson should be able to get himself out.
I think they can definitely go Roche, and they will take it pretty fast together with the Edict and the Morphling. It's not the fastest, but they shouldn't need like 4 pickoffs.
Well, they found Mikey in the trees as well. Mikey, can he get himself away from this one? The avalanche comes through. He's going to be slowed down. Collapse, Collapse is stuck in the trees, but Mikey, yeah, there's no way he survives through this one. And Collapse, eventually someone will let him go.
But we have to keep in mind that all of these things have been happening before Ricky has his shot.
True, true. And again, guys, if you want to get involved in the action, you can click the banner below, get yourselves a free $15 bet for new customers as Yutaro here. He's got himself the Morbid Mask, so he's got a decent way to keep him sustained as he farms through the jungle there as well. And how's Santor looking? He's got that blink. He's going back into a full pipe as well.
Yeah,
is he looking
really
for a
good
solo
choice.
pickoff?
He's just very manly.
Yeah, yeah. And lol, he's been far in the jungle here. TP's himself down to the bottom lane, maybe just to push this one back out. Mira, look at the net worth as well. All 3 heroes inside of Spirit, right at the top of the net worth. So having a great time so far. Morphlin leapfrogged a good couple of heroes because I think he was about 5th or 6th in the net worth. Fight before the fight in mid, and now he's starting to get himself right back up there.
Yeah, we have to remember it's not a Morphling, it's a Yatoro Morphling. It's a different hero altogether.
Yeah, Collapse just continues to farm here as well. He's having a great time. He's second in the net worth. He's, what, 40, 50 gold behind Leshrac. That's a great showing. Do they get the jump here? Mira, he's backing up Yutaro, but yeah, it looks like, okay, Yutaro's just going to be farming the creeps. Just backs himself away. Goes back for the neutrals here as well.
He almost has a Manta. And he is going to be going for the Hurricane Pike, so that is going to be very nice for him.
Yeah, and Mira, I mean, Mira's got that blink, so he's going to be able to get the jump off if anyone shows. Speaking about, oh, the Sleep Dart comes out. Any follow-up, though?
Doesn't
Collapse.
look like it.
Yeah. He's taking some well-earned rest, though. Collapse.
He deserves it. It's going to be a Lotus Orb next, so that's going to be very nice for dispelling the Sleeping Dart. Or potentially even reflecting it.
Yeah, is it one of those spells that only reflects on connection and not on cast?
I think most of the spells are like that, but it's weird with Dota. You have a few outliers, but I do think that for the Sleeping Darts, it's on connection.
Oh, Mikey's going to be able to get the last the drag back onto Yutaro now as well. Was that follow-up? Collapse trying to do what he can. But Mikey had that BKB already going, but Yutaro still alive. Fishman, the Stomp comes out. That waveform, he closes the distance. Momposhka able to take Fishman down now as well. And it could be Toby that's the next one to be taken down. Shadow Poison's flying through. Do they have enough damage? They have the slows, and they definitely have enough damage to take down Toby.
And even with the shard, it feels like Entity is just way weaker in fights.
Yeah.
And they got a really nice lasso and static storm onto the Morphling, but it still wasn't enough.
And yeah, you can see the Leshrac coming through again with his the highest net worth, the Bloodstone there, the Boots of Travel. He just came through and absolutely cleaned up. as he moved through that fight, and it was just then easy for the rest of Spirit to sweep through and sweep the heroes aside. Toby, as well as Fishman, going down. And remember, guys, there is the banner below the stream, so if you want your free $15 bet for new customers, click that banner, get yourself involved. But yeah, so Leshrac getting that Bloodstone. Toby, I don't think anyone near it. Like I say, he went back for the shard first. How much of a disadvantage up against the Leshrac is that?
I don't think it's too bad. But Team Spirit, they just go straight into the Roche. And now we're gonna see how fast it falls. It does get immediately scanned out, but
yeah,
what is Entity gonna do?
Yeah, true. It looks like they're just gonna give it a wide berth, is what they're gonna do, because of the damage coming through. Like you say, the Pulse Nova, the Diabolic Edict. Leshrac even found himself a regen rune there, lol. So he was just able to spam that out and get himself, really stacked up on the damage in that Roche pit. And yeah, again, Yutaro takes himself a free Aegis.
Yeah, that's so nice. And now they're gonna struggle even more with killing this Morphling.
Oh, Sleep Dart comes out. Kadawami, though, has to back himself away. There's going to be the damage coming through from Collapse as well. Do they have enough to take down Kadawami? They absolutely do. And now the kinetic field is going to be thrown through. Mikey, does he want to try and get a Lasso drawback onto anyone? The damage from Aposhka is going to be the one that gets lassoed, but that's just going to be a support that gets taken down. So support for support. Ricky buys back into this fight as well. He drops the smoke, but can they get anything more out of this? A double avalanche to toss as well into the hoof stomp. They get 2 kills. Amira picks himself up a double kill. Fishman and Kadawami. That's a dieback on the Ricky. I think it was less than, 10 seconds he was alive for after he got back into that fight. So really good cleanup there, and Toby has to TP himself out. This opens up the tier 2 tower now for Harass for Team Spirit in this mid lane.
Yeah, and the only thing that Team Spirit committed there was the Stampede.
Yeah, and Watson, top lane. Look at the damage coming through now. He has to go for that double leap away. He has the Aghanim Scepter, so he has the ultra-long leap as well as the second charge. But just look at the damage that Law was doing to him, just being really close to him.
Yeah. His Lesh is definitely scary. Last fight he was surrounded by a Razor draining him. There was a Slug hitting him, and the Batrider was on top of him as well, and he just took no damage.
Yeah. And Itaro continues to farm. He's got that Dragon Lance queued up. It might be it's going to be the Hurricane Pike at some point.
Yeah, I do feel validated by that. That's nice.
Okay, bottom lane. Are they going to be able to get another kill out of this now as well? Again, Toby going to be tossed back into the Waiting Arms, and Maposhka picks up the kill, but everybody though waiting for him to come back, and they do pick up a really nice kill.
And they could just go high ground. I'm not sure what Entity is gonna do to stop this.
Yeah, Avalanche doesn't connect, and you can see Yutaro, he's leading the line, doing the damage. Flame Break comes out, so Mira going to be taking some harass. But the glimpse back now as well. It looks like... Oh, Ricky. So, do they want to go Kadawami? He just has to throw that smoke and then get himself back. As this tier 3 tower, the fortification going to be used. But yeah, Spirit, again, that Aegis for 2.5 minutes to Yutaro. Just looks like he's not ready to stop just yet.
Well, they got the tier 3. They are not willing to commit any further for now, but a tier 3 is still very nice.
Definitely, yeah. And it opens opening up the racks in the mid lane, which means that the constant pressure applied just opens up other objectives for Spirit. Like a tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, maybe.
Yeah, that tends to be nice. I mean, I would say that in most games it's probably a good idea to take a tier 1 in some lane before you go Rax in another.
Yeah, I mean, Morphlin, we see him again, second in net worth, only behind Lal. What do Entity need to do to get back into this? Because we've not really seen Watson being involved in the fights just yet. He is trying to find the farm. He's got that Aghanim Scepter, trying to find a couple of other items first. How do Entity just need to stall until he's ready to get into these fights?
They need to keep pushing out the lanes, and then they need to catch heroes when they start deep pushing. They don't have the best heroes for pushing out lanes, but they're not gonna win a 5v5 fight right now, so they need to pressure the map and then try to capitalize on heroes deep pushing.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see where they're going to go. They're just looking to take over this triangle as well. You can see Spirit, they want this half of the map on the Dire side. They're controlling it up. It allows them good access to the mid lane. Mikey's going to be TPing in. We might see a fight breaking out here. Lol, going to be on the back lines. There is going to be the pounce in as well as Collapse. What's he going to be able to do? Because the smoke comes out and now the Force Staffs as well. So Mira going to be out of danger.
I love the double force staff. It's like he gets pushed one screen away and he's safe.
Yeah, and there's nothing really you could do to follow that up as well without putting yourself at risk here. And, well, Watson shows on the creep wave, and the answer to this smoke screen comes out. Leshrac has the BKB queued up, makes sense up against, well, pretty much everything that Entity has here now as well. The toss back onto Toby. Toby, the split earth comes through now as well. There's going to be the smoke, but the damage isn't going to be off. There's lasso dragging back onto Miposhka now as well. They might be able to take Miposhka down. No, the stampede comes out. They take down Toby. Miposhka, he's still alive. The BKB pop by Mikey. Now they do finally get the kill onto the Shadow Demon, and Mikey just has to go for that TP away, but the Slark might not be so lucky. Watson, can he get himself away from this? Trying to go for that pounce away. Any follow-up damage was those blink daggers.
Okay, so it's a 1-for-1 once again. Razor for SD. Normally it would be quite Spirit favored, but Entity is behind, so I don't think they can be too sad about this trade.
Yeah, but Lol continues to push and took a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower on that bottom lane. And now the Rack's exposed again. Aegis has been reclaimed. Kadawami trying to do what he can with the smoke in, just jumping himself away with the backstab as well. But the 26 minutes in, gonna be losing a lane of Racks.
We just haven't really felt the Disruptor impact so far. There have been a few okay static storms, but they just can't really seem to kill anyone.
Yeah, and again, the smoke screen comes out here. Morphlin will be able to move away. Sleep Dart being used, but only for a little bit here, and they do clean up this lane of Brax. And again, Razor now trying to chase away with the Eye of the Storm. The Plasma Field comes out as well, but the damage is already done. The Rax is already down.
Now it's suddenly an 11k lead. The Hurricane Pike's up for Yatoro, and he doesn't even feel forced to buy a BKB. This is what I said before. Usually the answer to a lot of silence is buy a BKB, but for Team Spirit it's just have a Yatoro in your team and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, Lyle continues to farm. Like I say, they're just right back in this triangle, and it makes it so much harder for Entity to find farm around the map. In fact, they've only got one tier 1 down as well. Entity, you know, what's their play? Roche going to be at least a minute and 20 seconds away as well, just in case a fight breaks out around that. But yeah, what can Entity do here? What is their game plan to get themselves back in this fight?
I still think that with a well-placed Static Storm into a Sleeping Dart on the Shadow Demon, they can burst the Morphling because he doesn't have a BKB. The odds are quite low because there is also a pipe on the center that he can use that's gonna buy the Morphling a bit more time, but I feel like it's the one chance they have.
Ricky walks himself right underneath the sentry wall, gets caught out and killed off here. Watson, what can they do against the Slark? Slark trying to find as many stacks as he can, but there's going to be a lot of damage coming through. Collapse, can they maybe try and jump onto Toby now as well? Toby, the Split Earth comes out, he's going to be controlled, he's going to be locked down. The Glimpse though onto Lol, and Lol, but still, Collapse, he blinks himself forward, he gets a stomp now, there's going to be the toss up into the earth. Do they have the damage? They do. They take down Toby, the chase might be on. Kinetic Field, Static Storm does get dropped, and Watson trying to get himself out. He's going to go for the pounds, but now there's going to be the Stampede to follow up. Where's those Blinks? Fishman drops another Kinetic Field. And Lol, he's just going to go back to pushing the bottom lane. It looks like they want another set of racks here. Toby down for 30 seconds, and the bottom lane, there is still a tier 2 tower on the top lane. So if they push out onto the bottom lane, potentially open up another tier 3.
Yeah, once again, Toby just walks in, pops the Bloodstone, but then still dies because Laurel just deals too much damage.
Yeah, and you can see here now as well, Lol just continues to push that lane out. The win probability going all the way in favor of Team Spirit as well.
Mira almost has himself a Yules, which means that it's gonna be even harder to kill him. He's only gonna need like 2 Force Staffs instead of 3 to keep him out of trouble.
Yeah. An extra save as well. Well, I suppose that Mikey has the BKB. So maybe not for the lasso. Maybe you're just waiting on the disruption for that. You're disrupting whoever gets lassoed in.
Really like this gem on Collapse as well. It's just gonna secure that the final bit of map control for Entity is gonna melt away.
Yeah. Oh, we're seeing the meat come through now. They're going to be able to get the Stomp coming through onto the Disruptor. Disruptor just gets completely blown up, has to buy back into this fight. Lasso onto Yutaro. Yutaro being controlled through the smoke. What can they do? The Force Staffs come through, and now they might be able to turn something around again. Toby just gets tossed right back, and it was going to be the Morphlin. He steals Toby's form. He's going to be able to get the waveform in. The damage coming over the top of it now as well. The Static Stone Collective Field, it's not going to be enough, and Morphlin still survives through that. They might be able to get a dieback as well onto the Disruptor. The Disruptor gets the glimpse back, but still... Connected field, the chase collapse, he gets the blink, but he's caught in, can't get that Force Staff forward, at least gets a D-ward off.
The casual intimidation, self-views, we've all done it.
Just say, I could have ended you right here, but I'm letting you get away, not because, you know, you outsmarted me, but because I chose to.
Yeah, and Team Spirit lost absolutely nothing there.
And this, yeah, even, I mean... Yutaro being controlled by the lasso being dragged into the smoke was still able to get the morph off, and then the stack stone connecting field comes out. He still helps get the kill onto Toby. Yutaro really looking strong on this Morphin here, and they even take down that last tier 2 tower. So now they are going to be able to open up the racks on both lanes as Watson trying his best to push out this bottom lane, looking towards the BKB here now as well on the Slock.
Yeah, but it's still so far away, and even when he gets it, I don't think he can suddenly man-fight anyone.
Yeah.
Also,
Toby, smoke screen comes down though, so it's not going to be a toss back. Lotus Orb is going to be there onto the Tiny. What's he going to be able to do? It looks like he's just going to be pinballed around by the Force Staffs now as well. Plasma Field could be used, but do they have any follow-up from this? Can they chase down onto the Tiny? It looks like no, it looks like it is just going to be another stalemate coming through here from both sides. But again, Roshan is up. Yutaro moving himself over towards this as well. So should be able to start this with the rest of his team. And this time, can Entity contest?
I don't think so, but they have to try. Because I don't think their base is gonna survive an Aegis Morph.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to be smoking 5 seconds ago, or they're gonna be too late.
And look at this, it's just being taken care of. The scan isn't going to be used here either, and Team Spirit going to be able to get themselves... Ooh, who do you shard up? Do you give it over to Lal?
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it is very nice for area denial. Just put it down somewhere, and both Slark as well as Batrider are gonna have issues going in.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if you get the Morphin to shift into the Disruptor as well, drop it on top of a Stone Kinetic Field. Could be a decent amount of control.
Insane to me as well that Laurel is playing this entire game without a BKB. He just doesn't feel forced to. He's almost doubling up the enemy carry.
Yeah, and he did have one, but obviously the fight's going his way. He's changed his mind. Yeah, Laurel's looking absolutely amazing here. Just diving in behind enemy lines. He's the furthest one forward. It's not Collapse, not Mira. It's going to be Laurel. And now, Mira, going to be Force Staff right back, and the fortification is going to wear off. So they get themselves another tier 3 tower. And it looks like... What are they going to do? The lasso comes out. It's only going to be onto Maposhka, though. It does stop the disruption. It costs Maposhka. No, Maposhka, he's not dead just yet. He will eventually go down. Yutaro, though, is going to be able to get the dive, and Toby will go down once again. Watson with the BKB. There's going to be the Centaur Stomp coming through, maybe, if Watson, because he's got that BKB going just yet. But can they do the damage? And Watson's trying to get himself away. The smoke stream will still be there. And he has to pop the Shadow Dance to get himself away, because Lyle, the damage is still ticking through. And he's trying to get himself away. And again, Yutaro with the shift into this time into the Slug, able to chase out with the pounces. And the damage, Yutaro, Mira, they're just cleaning up, and it is going to be GG. Game number 1, 33 minutes in, 29-9, going the way of Team Spirit.
Yeah, it was insane this game, just how aggressive Team Spirit could be, especially Mira. He just keeps jumping in, and Entity just can't punish